So that first thing is breathe and then be vulnerable enough to say, I don't know all the answers. Let me give myself a moment to get creative.
Isaiah Rosick had a question too, our friend from Denver.
So if you find yourself in a situation where you're not even, where your emotions are starting to swing in a direction where you're not thinking clearly, you're not thinking logically, what do you do to try to bring yourself back to even where you can think more reasonably?
It is about being vulnerable enough to go, do you know something? I'm not prepared for this. What experiences have I had in the past that are similar to this, and how have I handled those? And this is a lot of thinking to do in the midst of oh my gosh, what's going on? But we've got to reflect back to say, what have I dealt with that is similar to this? And how did that go well? How did that go badly? What decisions did I make that I was proud of? Which decisions did I make that I didn't want to make, that I can bring in that learning into this situation? My preference is to have those conversations beforehand, right? So that when you get into that situation, you're already prepared. But obviously there are times when there are things that happen that we don't anticipate. Things like the Twin Towers, earthquakes, all those sorts of things that we just don't think of. So it does happen. Being vulnerable enough to say, I'm not sure what's going on here. I need to take just a moment to think this through, rather than going, everybody's looking at me, I've got to make a decision, I'm going to do this. So being vulnerable enough just to take time. One of the most important things you can do to take time, and lots of people are talking about this and everybody goes, that's kind of a cliche, breathe, right? Breathe. Just take a deep breath. Let your body get oxygenated, because when your body gets oxygenated, the amygdala that cuts off and puts you into the fight and flight, that goes, oh, there's lots of oxygen around the place, I can relax a little bit, and it will let that blood flow go back to the front of the brain. So that first thing is breathe and then be vulnerable enough to say, I don't know all the answers. Let me give myself a moment to get creative.
Now, I think one of my earliest mentors always said, when you're stressed, breathe, because if you can't breathe, you have a bigger problem. And so it just reconnects you into what it is that you're doing, and, causes you to relax. Because when we are under tension, we know from the research, the brain at positive outperforms by 31% negative, neutral, or stressed. And so you should be constantly training your mind, stay calm, stay relaxed, because I need to be in positive, because I will outperform other decisions that I will make when I'm under stress.
Because then the body is relaxed, the mind relaxes. And as soon as our mind relaxes, we can open up our thinking and see possibilities or opportunities. In fact, I say that adversity is the biggest killer of creativity, because we're so overwhelmed. But if we can break the tension of it, and some of that tension gets broken by a little bit of lightheartedness, or knowing that you've got a plan in place.